Hi everybody, this is Carl Krenzel again with Realty Executives Tucson Elite and Sell More Homes Now. I just want to say thanks for joining me today. On today's video, do you really have a buyer? It's been a pretty long time since I put out a video, and I've taken a lot of time to go ahead and look at a lot of the comments and questions that many of you have had over the past several months, and a lot of them really talk about this, do you really have a buyer? You know, and many of you have expressed maybe a distaste for that expression, and you've probably heard it. I've certainly said it, why don't I stop by the house and, see if it works for any of the buyers that I'm currently working with. And many people out there in YouTube land have expressed that, hey, I'm not so sure that that's such a great way to look. It looks like a bait and switch. And the idea being that you're going to get entrance into the house, with that approach so that you can somehow start to steer the conversation towards listing the home. Many times that's true. I mean, a lot of people certainly do that, and you've probably heard me say that, like I said myself. And many of you realtors, like myself, dislike that approach, and I can appreciate that. That's certainly not the intent. And on the surface, it seems that's exactly the way. But the thing is, nobody wants to lie. So today's message is just a direct message from me to you. Obviously, nobody watches this channel except me and you. And if you'll just suspend your disbelief for just a few minutes, I believe I can give you a few questions that you can ask yourself in your business that will help you grow your business. So if you got a pen and you got a piece of paper, I'm going to have you write down a couple ideas. Point number one. Is there a difference between what you want and what the seller wants? Is there a difference between what you want and what the seller wants? So start asking yourself this question. What does the seller really want? I mean, when you're talking to that for sale by owner, when you're talking to that expired listing, when you're talking to that person who's called off a sign, what do they really want from you? I mean, when you think about it, they don't want a listing. That's not fun. Who wants that? I mean, it's not fun to have your home listed, right? They don't want an agent, right? Oh yeah, you could say, well, gosh, they want a buyer. I think a buyer, however, is just a means to an end. What a seller really wants is their home sold. See, now, what does the common, average, untrained, agent typically want? Well, they typically want a listing. So you got to ask yourself, is there a difference between what the seller wants and between what you want? And if there is a difference, then obviously there's going to be a problem. Point number two. What is customer service? What is customer service? See, in my mind, customer service is defined as helping the customer achieve their goals in the most efficient way possible. Helping the customer achieve their goals in the most efficient way possible. See, if you can achieve your customer's goals in the most efficient way possible, say in terms of, time or less hassle, how would that benefit you, right? Well, it would totally benefit you. If you could help your customer achieve their goal, for example, sell their home, with the least amount of hassle, the least amount of time, get rid of it, whatever, that would be a benefit to them and you. So what does a motivated seller really want? They want a sale. They want a closing. What do they need, however? Well, what they need is a ready, willing, and able buyer. Point number three. Why can't you buy? Why can't you buy? You see, if the price and terms were correct, or could be negotiated, let's say, favorably, well, what would stop you from purchasing that property? What would stop you from being the buyer in that particular circumstance. I mean, you've always been told to invest in real estate. You know, it's your retirement. They've been telling you that since your inception in the real estate business. But they never really tell you how. Oh, I mean, you think, well, maybe I got to save up 10, 20% and put that down and get a loan and all this other crazy. No, listen, here's how. Point number 4. Do you know all the alternatives available to you as a realtor to actually buy real estate? You see, there are so many ways to purchase a property. It simply depends on imagination and motivation of the seller. I mean, there's things as seller financing, subject to, transactional funding. Transactional funding is where you can where you can borrow up to $1 million, regardless of your credit, regardless of your past history and all that stuff, as long as you've got a sufficient amount of equitable interest in one contract and can sell it into another, they'll loan you the money to do it. Man, ridiculous. It's incredible, right? Hard money lenders, private money lenders, joint ventures. I mean, even your mortgage lenders in your office are able many times to point you in the right direction. See, most of the time, you think you can't be the buyer. You think you're locked into this I'm an agent rule, right? The truth is, being a buyer changes the entire dynamic of the transaction. Point number 5. When will you begin to help? You see, right now, within 5 miles of your home, someone is looking to sell their home. They need a qualified, capable agent, someone like you. Why couldn't you buy it? There's nothing that's stopping you. Maybe it's the price, maybe it's the terms. Maybe you couldn't buy it at what they'd want, but maybe you could. But you'll never know until you ask. And every now and again, you can. Either way, remember this. You're a buyer first and a salesperson second. Have a powerful sales day and stay tuned for more videos. Like, rate, and subscribe. And tell your friends. Thanks.